Hello. Today we are going to learn how to prepare a balance sheet. What is a balance sheet? A balance sheet is a business form that reports the assets, items that the business owns, liabilities, organizations and people that the business owes money to, as well as capital, what the business is worth on a specific date. A balance sheet presents a complete and accurate report of a business's assets, liabilities, and capital. The first step in preparing a balance sheet is to prepare the heading. With the heading, there are 3 questions that we need to answer. On the first line, the question is who? Who is the balance sheet being prepared for? In this case, it is being prepared for Carmen's Web Creations. And I'm going to type that in to cell A1. On the second line, we are going to answer the question, what? What are we doing? The name of the form that we are preparing is a balance sheet, which I will enter in row 2. In row 3, we are going to answer the question, when? When is this balance sheet being prepared? We are going to prepare this balance sheet on February 1st, 2001. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 2010. You will notice that the date changes format. I would like you to change that format by going to Format, Cell, look for Date in the Category column, and scroll down until you find the date which is shown as I have shown you in the example, and then click on OK. You will now see the date has changed to February 1, 2010. In our previous assignment, we noted that assets were found on the left-hand side of our paper. This continues when we prepare a balance sheet. We are going to type in all capital letters and bold the word assets. Below that, we are going to list all of the cash, any of the customers that owe us money, that would be the accounts receivable, as well as any other items that our business, Carmen's Web Creations, owns on this current date. I'm just going to pause the tape for a moment while I type those in for you. Alright, now you can see I've typed in all of the asset names. The A/R, those are our accounts receivable, or the customers that owe our organization money. In column B, I have typed in all of the amounts that correspond with the asset account. If you will notice, we don't have any dollar signs, or at current time, we would like to have 2 decimal places, which we need to change that to. In order to change it, you have to click on the money amounts and then go to Format, Cell, go to Currency, 2 decimal places with no dollar sign, and then click on OK. There you have it. In column C, we're going to list, or on the left-hand side of our page, we're going to list our liabilities, or the organizations that we owe money to. So we're going to start by typing in our heading, Liabilities, and below that, we're going to type in the names of our liability accounts. I'm going to pause the tape again while I do that for you. Okay, you'll see that I typed in all of the accounts payable, the companies that we owe money to, as well as our bank loan. And I've entered in the amounts. Once again, I formatted the amounts to have two decimal places and no dollar sign. Our next step is to calculate what our total liabilities are in order so that we may at some point figure out what our net worth is for our capital. So below bank loan, I'm going to ask you to type in total liabilities. And we're going to go over to column D and we're going to put in a formula. The formula that we need to do is we need to add the numbers that we have in column D. In order to do that, we're going to put equal sign, sum, bracket, the first cell where our numbers appear, which is D6, colon means that we want to go to a specific cell. We want to add all the way to D9 and then finish with a bracket and then press our enter key. We have a total of $4,689.88 that Carmen's Web Creations owes to other organizations. Because we added, we need to show that we've added by placing a single line below the amount $3,500. The next step that we had on the right-hand side of our paper was our capital. So once again, we're going to bold our title in all capital letters and write the word capital. The owner of our company is Carmen Ng. So here we're going to enter Carmen's name, Carmen Ng Capital, because that is where we're going to determine how much her business is worth to her. Before we do that, however, we need to do a couple of other things. On the right-hand side, we need to add our total liabilities and our capital together. I'm going to get you to type that in now. Immediately across from that, so that our balance sheet will balance, we need to write the word total assets. In column B, we're going to determine what our total assets are by placing a single line in cell B13 to show that we're going to do some adding. Once again, we're going to add a total equals sum bracket B6 colon, which means 2, B10. Okay, which means we're going to add up all of those numbers and then we're going to press and equals the enter sign. The total of our assets is $13,266.85. If you recall from doing our accounting equation assignment, in order for us to determine what Carmen Ng's capital is, we need to take our total assets, which we find here, and subtract our total liabilities, which we find here. So I'm going to ask you to go to the cell beside Carmen Ng Capital, and we're going to make an equation equals B14, because that's where our total assets are, and subtract D10, because that is the total of our liabilities. And if you recall, assets minus liabilities equals capital. We've now determined that Carmen's capital is worth $8,576.97. We need to add, because our final line says total liabilities and capital, so we need to put a single line to show that we're going to add again. And we want to add our total liabilities, which is found in cell D10, and add it to our capital, which is found in D13. And you will see that our two numbers equal, which is great. Okay, once these numbers equal, we finish off our balance sheet by putting a double underline below each of the totals. Okay, so we put a bottom double border below total liabilities and capital, as well as a bottom double border below total assets. The last thing that we need to do to make our balance sheet complete is to center our title across the columns. In order to do that, highlight from A1 across to D1. And hopefully you can find this little icon that says Merge and Center. You need to click on it. And do the same with row 2 and row 3. Well guys, there's our completed balance sheet. I hope it all made sense to you and that you don't have too many questions. But remember, I'm always available to answer your questions if need be. You may also check out the step-by-step instructions that can be found in Microsoft Word on the attached file as well, in the resource of how to prepare a balance sheet. Thanks, and I hope you have a great time completing a balance sheet.